and one of the little, he looks up at me and he goes, "Do you need any help?" They're excited. All of a sudden I remembered what it was like when I was little. And I was in the grocery store and I used to line all the groceries up for my mom, and make sure that the cashier could see the prices. Because that was back when they put the, so I would line everything up so they could see it. So helpful. Helping the bagger down, doing the exact same thing. It all came back to me. That's the difference. As Christians, we might have sympathy because, I'm not going to say anything about these unruly kids, but I would have missed an experience. So I said, "Thank you so much, honey. I appreciate, all of a sudden now I'm thankful. All of a sudden, you're wonderful. All of a sudden now you're sweet. And thank you, and aren't you so nice and so sweet?" But that's just his one gesture to connect with me. Turn my whole attitude around. So I'm trying to show you from both sides how simple it can be. Because I want to tell you, we talked about this in our vacation Bible school, and I shared it in Sunday school last week, but it's such an important message. See, we identify with Joseph in the story. What you meant for evil, God meant it for good. Yeah. From the pit to the palace. God, they lied on me, they tried to hurt me. See, we identify with Joseph, but how many of us identify with the brother that's in us? How many of us identify with that part of us who put Joseph into the pit? Because that's a part of us as well. And so that's why sympathy, again, so sympathy breeds pity, and pity breeds enabling. And to understand what I mean by that, we are living in a culture right now where so many people feel that they are entitled. There's no work associated with it. There's no patience. There are no rules. I want it. Why shouldn't I have it? And if you have it and just don't give it to me, then something is wrong with you. And so we have to be very, very careful. We see situations, but how are we working in that situation? Do we have true empathy, which I'll talk about in a minute, or are we just enabling people because that becomes a weakness? When we just throw money at situations and we don't really want to become engaged, it's just easier to write a check and then I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think about the condition that's behind the check, or somebody else can do it. You know what I'm saying? That's not my thing. I don't do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I have enough things to do. Like, that's not what I really am involved in. That's when we become disconnected, with other people. And as Christians, we can't afford to be able to do that because it sets us up to expect the least of ourselves and the least of each other. Then when the common denominator goes from the word to just, it's so low. It's just so, we don't expect anything. And I think one of the saddest things I heard this year regarding our young people is that a school banned the honor students, the National Honor Society students, were not allowed to wear their National Honor Society banners or pins because it might hurt the other kids' feelings. Who weren't able to make the honor roll, their feelings might be hurt. So you can't be acknowledged for your dedication and your hard work or your effort because we don't want to hurt someone else. I have a friend that coaches football. He played football in college, and he is not a believer of everybody gets a trophy. He's like, everybody can get a certificate, but he's like, I draw the line. He's like, I am not giving. He's like, because then how do I motivate them to excel, to be good at what they do? If all they have to do is show up and be on the team, and they don't practice, they don't put in the work, they don't put in the effort, they don't put in the time, and they get a trophy that's just like the person that worked, what is the point? But that's simple. empathy has us thinking, oh, well, we have to be equal. And what I want you to understand is that you do not have to agree with someone to empathize with them.
That's right.
There is a big difference between that. You can empathize and have compassion for somebody and still let them know that according to the Word of God, you're still going to have to change.